Have you ever had a client leave the salon with staining on their forehead? What we're talking about today is called the Schwarzkopf Professional Color Essentials. And essentially, these are the things that you may overlook or things that you may not think to do or you're doing a different way now. But we have a full, complete set of products and tools that will make the entire color experience for your client a little bit elevated from the start all the way to the finish. Here's the situation. You have a client that comes in with maybe an inch, inch and a half of their virgin natural hair regrowth, and then the mid-lengths and ends have color on them, or maybe even like a color buildup. So what we want to do is get that nice, clean, even canvas so that we can move forward with our next color service. So we're going to talk today about the color remover. Don't get it twisted. Color remover is something that will remove color from the hair just like a lightener will, but in a much softer way. But first, let's talk about the difference between a color remover and a color reducer. A color remover will do exactly that. It breaks down and removes previous color. A color reducer is usually a two-part mixture that you put on the hair. It goes in and it basically sucks the oxygen out of the hair color molecules that already exist inside of the hair. Your job then in a color reducer is to shampoo that hair multiple times, hoping to get those pigments out. And then when you retest it with like a 10 volume, for example, if there's pigments left in the hair, they reoxidize. It's one way to do things. I prefer myself to do a color remover. It is like a traditional lightener, but on the very much lighter side of things, so that it gives you the time and control you need to work section by section methodically to make sure that I'm getting the perfect end result of whatever I'm trying to remove from the hair. So how do I use this color remover? Well, it comes two parts. You'll get sachets that come inside of the box. Each sachet is mixed together. Sachet A is the actual powder itself, and sachet B is like a buffering liquid. When you mix these two together in the bowl, you'll want to equal that out with a developer. Now, you can use either the Agora Royal Oil Developer 10 volume or the Agora Vibrance 1.9% 6 volume. It just depends on how much lift you're looking to get. So if you look at the screen now, there's a mixing chart that basically says what to mix and how many levels of lift you'll get. So if you'd notice on the chart, when I mix sachet A and sachet B with my 6 volume, I can expect to get around 1 level of lift, about 1 to 2, depending on the hair structure. If I mix sachet A and sachet B with 10 volume, I can get about 2 to 3 levels of lift. This is great because the slowness of the lightener is giving me the time and control to work through those sections of hair. If I was trying to color remove a buildup of like old chocolate or auburn on some of these mid-lengths and ends, and I used a regular lightener, let's say with 7 or 8 levels of lift, I might put myself in the situation where I've gone past where I need to go, and now I've created an entirely new problem I don't need. So the pro about the color remover is that I have the option to get anywhere from 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 levels of lift. Of course, all of this depends on the hair density, whether it is fine, medium, or coarse, and how much previous color buildup is on that hair for me to have to work with. So you've got time, you've got control, and you've got options, and that is exactly what the color remover will do to give you that beautiful, even canvas to move forward. So I'm sure you've noticed a lot of the products we talk about in our YouTube videos on this channel have a technology with them. Well, in the color remover, you can find that it has our fiber bond technology. Basically meaning if I'm lifting, that's where I could potentially come across bond damage, is in a lifting or a bleaching service. And so with the fiber bond technology, that succinic acid is the active ingredient that will help protect the bonds, so I get far less breakage than I would with like a traditional lightener. Next up, we have our Color Essentials Hair Primer. The Color Essentials Hair Primer is a phenomenal tool to prep the hair for a color service or a lightening service. So what is the hair primer? The hair primer is a porosity equalizing spray that you can spray through the hair before a color service. You can see that the mist is very super lightweight. So how do you use this? First, you get your client sat down, you drape them up, and you spray the hair primer through the hair first up. Then maybe you have the consultation. Then maybe you go to the back room and mix up whatever color it is that you're going to need, or the lightener that you need for your balayage surface. The hair primer, as you spray it in, is going to help equalize the porosity. It's going to impart some keratin protein to the hair to strengthen it during your color service. And there's another ingredient in the hair primer that is ideal, and the technology is called micro-pure technology. Essentially, they're little tiny chelating agents in the hair primer that go onto the hair surface and act like a magnet for metals that exist in the hair. Now, in some of our other videos on this YouTube channel, we've talked about metals in the hair, minerals on the hair, and how that can potentially have a reaction to lighteners. So the good thing about hair primer with the micro-pure technology is that the little magnets, if you will, the chelating agents, go onto the hair surface and act as a magnet and collect all of those metals so that I get no interference with my lightener on the hair. What does interference look like? Has anybody ever seen a lightener that they've used heat up a little bit? Those are chemical reactions that are happening with minerals or metals on the hair and the persulfates that live in the lightener. So the hair primer with micro-pure technology as a chelating agent plus the keratin acts as a porosity equalizer so that I get the best service possible during either my color or lightening. All right, within our Color Essentials Scalp Protect, we have something called Derma Protection Complex. It consists of 3 things that you'll see are quite helpful during a color or lightening service. The first up being panthenol. Panthenol, aka vitamin B5, is actually a substance they use in hospitals to help treat burn victims because of its healing properties. Then there's glycerin. This is a barrier, essentially, to help protect the moisture from escaping the scalp so that if you're, let's say, sitting through a lightening service, you don't end with that kind of itchy, really tight scalp feeling. And then last up is allantoin, a substance that is used to nourish, kind of help and heal any sort of skin. So if it does that on the back end, what it's doing on the front end is kind of helping to protect your scalp from that even happening to begin with. So those 3 key ingredients make up our Derma Complex protection, and all of those things can be found in our Color Essentials Scalp Protect. And it's very simple and easy to apply. It's got the nozzle here. You simply twist that off, and then what you could do is go in section by section and just get it right on the scalp, part the hair, get it right on the scalp, and then just kind of do like a light massage to make sure that it's distributed evenly across the scalp, and then proceed with your lightening or color service. So no client likes to leave the salon with staining on their forehead or anywhere else around their hairline. So the Skin Protect within Color Essentials is exactly that. It is a barrier cream that has a really nice consistency, and it makes the skin feel nice and moisturized. But essentially how you would use this is how you would use any barrier cream. You would open the cap. Me personally, I would like to maybe put some on like the side of my hand, just like that. And then what you would do is take a little bit on your fingers and go just around your client's hairline, around the ear, and then especially around the back of the neck if you're doing all over color. And this is a barrier cream that will help to protect the skin from staining. All right, moving along in our Color Essentials, we have our hair sealer. And the hair sealer has the Fiber 3 technology, which helps to tighten the inner matrix of the hair, plus seal the cuticle with its low pH to help keep and lock all of the color that you've just done on your client right away. So how do I use my hair sealer? You would take your client with the color on, rinse and shampoo out the color. Then you would do maybe like 2 to 3 pumps of the hair sealer, depending on your client's hair density and length. You then want to work that product through the hair for a minimum of 30 seconds. What's happening is the acidity in the product is really tightening the cuticle to make sure that not only my color is locked in, but that my cuticle is a flat surface. Flat surfaces reflect light, that's perceived as shine. So after a minimum of 30 seconds, you want to go ahead and rinse out your hair sealer, and if needed, proceed with a Fiber Clinic's vibrancy treatment for additional nourishment and cuticle sealing, or any conditioner of your choice. All right, nobody's perfect. You use your skin protection barrier cream, you're really precise about your color application, but sure enough, there might be a few little dots around the hairline. Nobody wants to leave with staining on their forehead after you've given them this banging color that they're gonna go out and feel super confident about. Maybe not if they've got dripping stains around their forehead. So last up, we've got our Color Essentials Stain Remover. And it's pretty much what it is in the name. Just squirt some onto a cotton pad or a cotton ball and gently rub around the hairline where you do see excess color staining, and this will assist in helping to remove that color staining for you. Nobody's perfect, we get it, but that's why we invented Stain Remover. So with all of that being said, we have additional tools for you to really elevate the color experience for your clients, whether it's getting a clean canvas, prepping the hair for porosity issues, and making sure that we're collecting all of those surface metals and mineral impurities from the hair, all the way down to sealing the color in and making sure your client's leaving with a perfectly smooth and clean hairline. So thank you for joining us today, and for more advanced education, check out all of our other educational videos on the Schwarzkopf Professional USA YouTube page.